You're getting your lashes done again?
Yeah, I have them on.
I know.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
So you're getting them done tonight
Mm-hmm.
when there's a floods
Uh-huh.
and your boss is going to be in town.
Tomorrow. I know.
So
I
if you
know.
have a reaction.
I know. I know it. You're right about that. All of it. I know. I know.
You're either the bravest person that this planet has ever seen,
Mm-hmm.
or you're missing something
Stay there.
upstairs.
Stay there. Stay there. Hello and welcome to the 19th episode of Little Did I Know podcast. I am your host, Stephanie Parks.
And I am your other host, Shauna Zolman Mahaley. Little Did I Know is a place where two friends share our journeys through life, the good and the bad, while never losing our laughter.
If you'd like to find more episodes of Little Did I Know, you can find us on Little Did I Know podcast on Facebook and Instagram and stephandshauna.com. Okay, friends and family of the show. Here we go for the fun fact. I have two again, okay?
Okay. That means it's going to be a good day.
And here's what I love is we are having friends of the show send me Little Did I Know fun facts.
And some of them have been hilarious.
Amazing. Yes. So I have eyes and ears everywhere and nothing is getting past us here. So, you know that I am in the beauty industry, right? Love it. Talk about it. And so I love even, when I interview or I'm interviewing somebody to come on board or whatever, I will say all the time, I love everything about being a girl.
Yes,
I do. I really do. However,
does that include periods? I mean, do you even love the period element of being a girl?
Absolutely not. No. So I'm lying when I say
just kind of like our travel tips. We both kind of lie.
There's some things that I'm just going to say no. If I wanted to get like super deep and be like, I'm thankful I had a period so I could have babies. I mean, blah, whatever. But no, I'm done. I don't need to have a period anymore. Like we can close that part of my life up. I'm just good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love 98.2% things about being a girl. That is it. The other 1.8% I don't love. Oh gosh, I could even go into a trail of this one, but I'm going to stay on course. Okay. So the one thing that I don't love, and I don't know why this trend is popping up places, but nose hair extensions are a thing. It is a thing. People are getting extensions in their nose hair area.
I just don't understand. I don't understand how that is a thing. I mean,
I don't
getting like, because bushier eyebrows are kind of a thing now too. And I'm like, I don't understand how the more bushy is the thing. In a nose hair region, I mean, they make nose hair trimmers and wax and everything specifically to keep that crap inside. That's like having bushy ear hair.
Oh, disgusting. And I will tell you, I cannot stand nose hair. And I wax nose hairs. I will tweeze a nose hair. Listen, pain. Beauty is pain sometimes. It just is.
Can't take it.
But if this really does catch on and people are going to start doing that, I'm going to boycott my industry.
You can't not stare.
No.
Even when people have a rogue nose hair.
I know.
That's the only thing they look at.
I know. Okay, so moving on to something that's way more fun because yesterday, even though you're not going to hear this for a couple weeks, yesterday was Memorial Day, which is the unofficial start of summer.
A to the men.
Yes. Even though my daughter still has like 16 days left of school, whatever. It is the unofficial start of summer. So, pool floaties became a thing last year with like food floaties and all of those kind of things. Well, not to be undone, not to miss out on the trend of pool floaties. The two popular floaties that you're going to see this summer, do you want to guess what they are?
Are we going genitalia?
No, nope, nope. We're staying that all audiences can listen to this podcast. Yeah.
Okay, then I'm at a loss.
The two floaties that you're going to see that are like going to be the thing are Hidden Valley Ranch, a ranch bottle, and a Cracker Barrel fried chicken.
Oh my gosh, I would be hungry the entire time. Oh, that sounds so good.
I know. Those are the floaties that they say are going to be the summer trend.
So two of the greatest things out there.
I mean, what says summer? Then fried chicken dipped in a little bit of ranch, and then I know. That's it. Those are your summer pool trends.
Oh, I love
Coming to a swimming pool near you.
Welcome. The fried chicken would be difficult. That'd be a difficult floaty to make.
I'm going to post it to when we air this. I will post the picture of it. And I'm going to tell you, I had to double check it, but it looks like a pan full of Cracker Barrel fried chicken.
Okay. Add the pan, you're good to go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And the Hidden Valley Ranch, listen, that is a sunbather's delight. That is what that is. That is what that is. Yeah. So now I'm going to tell you, we have our favorite one from last year is a cloud that you go through the cloud, and it has glitter in it. I mean, it is so, but it has a rainbow that arches over it, so it gives you a little bit of sun. I am the happiest thing in that. You can just twirl around town. We have a margarita glass. We have pizza and a donut.
Donut, yes.
Yeah, a donut. And you know what I wanted last year? Because, I just got engaged, married, all that stuff last year. I wanted the ring. I could never find the ring. But our rainbow one, and nobody has it. It sparkles and glitters, and it's just, I love it. I love it so much. So
I love the massive flamingo. Just because of how obnoxiously big it is. You can see people float. And I see them most because when Seattle, you don't really just swim in the water because it's a little cold. So we go over to the rivers and go floating. And so when we're floating, you see people on flamingos from miles away because they're so large.
Have you seen the videos where people try to get on the big ducks or the big or the unicorns?
Yes, it's like they're having a battle.
And then they just poof. Oh, I love a good pool floaty.
Well, welcome to summer, one and all.
You are welcome to stay, Summer.
Yes, you are.
Stop raining.
Oh, man. Yeah. Okay, so with that being said, well done. Once again, well done, my friend Stephanie Parks.
Thank you.
This episode is going to continue on with our Passions series.
Yep.
Last episode, we talked a little bit about all of them, I think, but there's three phases.
Yep.
First one's discovery. The second phase, which what we will primarily be talking about today is development. And the third phase is design. The 3 Ds, triple D, not to be misconstrued with your cup size. So... The second phase, second phase today we're talking about is development. I'm keeping that too. How to develop. What's the development stage when you're trying to refine your passions again? Because we've already talked about too. This isn't like your initial, as a kid, I'm passionate about XYZ. This is kind of like your second time around. You're starting to change. You're starting to redevelop, I think, some different parts of your life that you're trying to figure out who you are or who you really are or who you have been the whole time, but it's just becoming apparent.
Yep.
So in the second phase of development, we're going to break down into 3 separate segments or sessions of how we're developing in our personal life, our professional life, and then our spiritual life.
Okay.
So, my dear.
I'm ready.
How about you take away on how are you developing in your own personal journey?
So, I will tell you that discovery and development for me this last half a year, 1 year, whatever, has been the forefront of my life, really. And I didn't mean for it to do. It just kind of was this natural place of, again, I had the space, I had the time to really dig in and ask those questions, because I was internally wrestling through some things. And so personally, my development has been to really, so I've said this, it's not a secret. I'm 45 and have processed through some hurts that I had from a child and as a teenager and as a young adult. And then, so to get to, 45, most of the time you're like, my gosh, shouldn't you have this together by now? Well, the answer to that is no. Most people don't. You don't.
Just so you know, you just made everybody else comfortable. Thank you.
I know. Well, and and it's also just like, golly. But anyways, so in my development is I had to find this place to really fully be okay for me. I have been a people pleaser my entire life. I'm designed that way, but it has been unhealthy, where I have lost myself in making everybody else happy and really just and a lot of times, like, I think as a mom of little kids, like, you do it gets real gray in there, because you need to keep those kids alive and you want to make them happy and all of those kind of things. And so some things just get put on the back burner. But after a while, what was a healthy place, my place on this earth became very minimized. I became very quiet. I became very invisible, for lack of a better word. So my development personally has been to say, I'm okay with me. I am okay with me if you like me, if you don't like me, if you love me, if you don't want to give love back to me. I'm okay if you want to be in my life, but if you want to be in my life, there has to be some healthy, respectful boundaries. And I'm actually going to be okay to say, me alone or me in this place is, I'm actually okay and healthy here, then I am allowing all of those things to come in.
Yeah.
To where I've said I was better to be me alone than to be me in a toxic relationship. Yeah. So that's me personally. That's been my personal development.
How did you get to that point? Because some of that sounds like discovery too. It's like, how did you get to the point where you are, I would say that you're probably still continuing on that journey, right?
Yeah.
Or developing that aspect and element. So how did you get to the point where you can say that?
Well, I just had to live it,
Gotcha.
Where I had to be like the application. So discovery for me was a lot of words, and development is action. And
Good.
so I had to put those things into action to go, like even this week. So I had a dear friend come over and we did a cookout this weekend. So sweet, just great. We both have adult children who are tricky. Mm-hmm. And I said, I will tell you, I am just as happy having this dinner with the people who are around my table than I was if anybody else was here. I've yearned for those and I love those. And that's what I would desire most, is to have, my table full of those people. But if that's not who's around my table, I'm going to be happy with who's there. And a lot of that was, I'm going to be just happy by myself.
Yeah. Unless it's me, then we'd have a party.
Well, for sure. The pitch of my voice gave it all away of how happy that makes me. Yes. But you're right. But and so I really and truly can say, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I am okay. And a healthy me is, I will nurture her and I will respect myself and love myself and not put myself in those situations again.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well done. Personally, for me, discovery was the hard part, and it still is the hard part, because I'm still finding that out. I think even we talked last week or a couple weeks ago of how I'm starting to see my old self circle back around, of the intense, the driver, the leader, the the go-getter Shauna that used to be. It's kind of coming back around, but in a softer way. So I'm trying to understand who I am and how those two mesh. So that's kind of the discovery element now into the development. Like, what does that look like? So now it's when I want to do something, when I'm passionate about something, of not standing back anymore, but really putting my foot forward and going to get it. And so whether that's podcast stuff, whether that's cooking, I truly have been delightfully enjoying cooking and learning more
love
about it.
it.
Like, I want to take cooking classes, specifically Japanese cooking classes.
That is different.
I know, because the flavors, the quote unquote umami flavors that are in so many of Japanese cuisines and sauces, I want to learn how to use those and incorporate them into my own type of cooking.
Fabulous.
So I don't know, something like that stuff just is really intriguing. So I want to pursue after that. But even like the development of like, hey, I want to become a mom. So like, better late than never. I know, but
not at all. I rebuke that. No, that's not true.
Even that desire and that passion to pursue after starting a family, like all that stuff is new. I'd never had that before. So this new stage of development looks like, really applying what are some of my new passions, and then and the journey to find out those new passions has just been trial and error. Like, some things kind of are fleeting and they fade away real quick, and then other things it sticks with me in my gut. That's like, no, I really do want to pursue after that. And so that's for me personally, that's part of my phase 2 development.
I love it. I love it. Good stuff. So let's just move on and just say, so professionally. So I know like you're still working in that, but what does that look like in your development stage?
Yeah, professionally it is. It's a rough one, because again, like trying to start a family, it's hard to really go all in. For me professionally, when, hey, I don't know if or when I'm going to get pregnant. B, my husband's also in that stage. So as he's pursuing after something, I feel like professionally, the season for me is one that's a little bit secondary, because I really feel like I need to, and I also want to be here to support him in his endeavor of trying to become a firefighter. He's an EMT now. So it's just trying to like really support him in that and give him the time, the energy, the freedom to do that, and not have the focus on me. But practically, we also need to pay bills. So again, as I've said, some of my past Shauna is coming back into play. Like, I'm really diving in hard into training, and not just physical fitness, but specifically basketball. And a lot of people say like, oh, that's a no-brainer. You should have done that a long time ago. But I didn't want to. Like, I don't. Like, there's a phase out of sport for me that's like, I just needed to get away and I wanted nothing to do with it. But I think going back to it and seeing how I can really help some kids now, like that's part of something that I'm really diving fully into at a gym that I'm training at, and just trying to develop these different curriculums, these clinics, these camps for kids to really help them in different ways that they don't have it. So that's interesting to me, and it's also very helpful to pay the bills. Something practical.
Well, see, it's like peas and carrots, right?
You said it best.
Thank you.
Your turn. I know this is huge for you, so break it down for us.
It is. So I am at a completely different spectrum professionally. And so, I just stepped into this new role of consulting for a skin and beauty company, which I do love. And it's really something that I'm passionate about. And I had to figure that out in the middle of my divorce, was what did I want to do? Not just check a box, but like, what was I passionate about? But up until this point, every career decision that I have had to make has been, will it pay the bills? Will we survive? Can I feed the kids? Can I support them? And will I still have enough gas to put in my car to get to my job? So all my decisions were made. And so then when a promotion came up, or I was asked to go and, take on a different role or whatever, it was always, is it going to just keep me towards that goal of one was surviving? So now with this job, because I am married and, life just looks very different, I can invest in this very differently. But I also don't have to give my entire heart and soul to this, because I don't live for this job. Like, what I love it, and I am so thankful for it. But like, I love this secondary thing that has started to grow, of podcasting, of speaking, and of writing, and that intentionality of, encouragement and equipping women. Like, I love that part of that. And what's so great is I do get to put that back into my job too, because, that's what you're doing when you're client facing as well. But when Tom and I first started dating, and he asked me what I dreamt about, and I was like, I don't dream. There's no time for it. There's no place for it, because one, dreams fall apart and they die and your heart breaks. And so why do you want to do that again? And then the other part, I know. So there's that reality piece. And then the other piece was like, I can't stop, won't stop. I got to just keep going. So to even think about things, I'm not doing it, but I can now. And so I can put some pieces of my life together. And so what we are doing now professionally is we have the goal of like, what does 5 years look like when Tatum graduates, and how does that relocation look like, and all of those things, to where that's where we are professionally, is how can we get to this next goal that we have of, of doing life like that. So it's different. It's so funny. And it's kind of like, and for those of you that have little kids, or you're at that beginning teenager stage, and life just looks like it will not ever give up, and it's always going to be this hard pace, and you're always going to be running and doing and homework and meals. And I am here to tell you, it does. And one day it's like, whoa, I feel like I savored what I could of those moments, but the time doesn't stop, So I am at this phase of like, my daughter is going to be starting high school soon. And we all know high school just looks in a totally different season of life. And so, I'm not scared of it like I used to be, if that helps.
Yeah. I think one thing that you said too, that was really good, you had somebody, which is huge, knowing from what you've come from. So knowing that you have somebody to dream with, what would you say to those that don't have somebody else to dream with them? So it's like, the stage that you're at, which I'm sure a lot of people are there as well, and can relate. So you have somebody to dream with, to dream that 5-year plan and then beyond, right? So what would you say as encouragement to those people that don't have that person to dream with?
I would say, even though I just said like there wasn't space for me to dream and there wasn't all of that, there were still remnants of dreams that I had that I knew were put in my heart. And so nurture those the best that you can, even though like life is intense or life is hard, or you're in a hard season or whatever, like still nurture those. And I would do those. I would allow myself to have the freedom, like on my trails or on my walks, like they would pop back up and I would remember that. But my thing would be, do not lose yourself in this season. Do not forget to care for yourself, because in the caring for yourself and the nurturing for yourself, you keep those dreams alive. They may not get to be put into fruition at the moment, but when you nurture yourself, they stay there.
Yeah.
And they will. And so, hang on and find girlfriends, find journal, write things down if that's your thing, or, just hang on would be my wisdom.
So the last one, we've covered personally, we've covered professionally, now spiritually. How are you developing in the spiritual sense? And what that means to you. I mean, obviously people know where we stand spiritually.
Right.
And they may be different, but for you.
So this one is kind of tricky for me, because in the middle of the breaking down of some things, I got really hurt by the Little C church. And then God, I felt like he just kind of hurt my feelings. So just being honest with that. So in that dismantling of my life has also dismantled some rigid thinking that I had as well. And so thankfully now, when it was happening, I was just like, whatever. Peace out. I can't. I'm just not going to do this. So where I have grown in this place spiritually is a freedom of being able to embrace how I am made and not trying to make excuses or conforming to anything, but really going, God, actually, he made me this way. He put all of these nuances and quirks inside of me, and he delights in me. And so growing in that spiritually of the freedom to be, once again, who I am, the freedom who I am in Christ, my, maybe not zeal, but that lighthearted, just easy to say, like, well, I tell you all the time, it gets on my nerves when people just give like spiritual little, little throwouts. That was me. And so now that makes me honestly want to barf. I do not like that. And so I want to be very, intentional with the words that I say, that I attach to the Lord. And so I'm a little bit more cautious. I'm not this young, naive girl. So I'm cautious in that, but I would like to think that when I do give any kind of depth to that it's really there. It's not just empty.
The spiritual element for me is one, and I've talked about this before too with the book that I'm reading, Rest of God. It's just a restful season. I think coming out of professional sports and diving right into sports ministry, that I just went balls to the wall on with that as well, and just giving, and not finding balance in that early on, and became burnt out yearly in December every single year, and slowly started to understand my role versus God's role is completely different. And it wasn't really until about probably 3 years ago that I actually felt the love of God for myself, and not just loved him, but realized like he loved me first, and that's why I can love him. And that's what really revolutionized and transformed my way of thinking in my heart. And so now, being out of sports ministry, I still have girls that I'm mentoring and discipling, which is my true heart, but the rest of it, like, just really understanding, I think spiritual development for me looks like understanding what it looks like to rest in God and not have to perform, not have to do, not have to try to change the world and save it all in one day. And some of that's hard because it feels like I'm not doing anything, which I'm not doing anything. And that equates to me like, I'm not doing my part, or if, I don't know. It's just a hard dynamic for me constantly, to be okay to rest. And I don't mean that physically, like laying down and sleeping all the time. I mean like that is, occupationally, I'm not doing that. I'm just not doing that from a spiritual perspective anymore. So this season, development for me looks like figuring out more and more what it looks like and how to be okay with the rest factor. And I've heard me say it a lot too, just the whole Sabbath thing, like just making that an intentional take that day off once a week and have that actually work, for you from day to day.
I am with you on that.
There's just like in all of this like phase 2 development, there's just this understanding of, well, one, it is understanding your passions. It understanding where you stand now and what you really want to pursue after is the first phase of that. But this development phase, it really is like a gut feeling. It's a gut feeling of like what you really want to go after versus what may be like a 2-week incentivized program. Like it's not like prolonged. So there's a discernment in this of like what you really want to dive into from a development phase. And I think to dive into a little bit more in depth with those 3 personal professional, spiritual, some of the best advice given to me has just been like, you set your goal, or you want to see the end goal in mind. Like you said, I have a 5-year plan. I know what I want in 5 years, and work backwards from that.
Yep.
And that's going to look different from everybody. That's why we don't have, like, we're not talking on a cookie cutter scale. This is what it looks like, X, Y, and Z, to pursue after your passions, because it's going to look different for everybody. But if you have that end goal in mind of what you want to see happen in 5 years, in 1 year, in the next 3, 6, and 9 months, have that end goal in mind and work backwards from that. Work backwards, because then you can get those stair-step, practical approaches or steps or educational pieces, whether it's a financially to set yourself up if you want to go back to school, or if it's getting care because you need help raising your children while you're still trying to pursue after something professional, right? Like there's so many things that this can cover, so many things this entails, but work backwards after you've already set your goal and go from there.
And I think when you're in this development phase, this is kind of where, like, you're growing your muscle, you're growing your acumen. And so this is the part where you can get a coach. Like, if you think about, like, personally, where you can get a coach to grow here, get a therapist. Present, Dr. Mary, like, and so that helps you grow, like, because there's some things that we are at the end of ourselves. And so, like, athletes, like, you got to where you are because you had a coach. So then professionally, where there are business coaches, there are life with business coaches out there. Like, that's a thing. We talk about, like, we kind of are one. And so then spiritually, like, you talk about it all the time. It's something that I really feel like I need in my life. I don't know how to get there, but a mentor. Right. Like, mentoring in your spiritual, it will help you develop to get where you want to go, to help you grow, because we all plateau. We all get to where we can only go so far. And so in this development phase of life do not be afraid to ask for help, for somebody to come alongside you.
There's like the underlying thing here is like that you actually want to, that there's a desire, that you're either captured by fear of stepping out to pursue after something again, and maybe just even like desiring a change in your quote unquote want to. So like, I think the underlying thing of all this is like, let's find a new passion. And I guess this conversation is really for those who really want to have a new passion or want to find that new passion. So if you're not there, like if you're standing back in fear, if you're standing back and just like, no, that's for somebody else, I'm good. Just with like, there's no way I'm going to talk. There's no way I'm going to get a coach. There's no way I'm going to put myself out there. Like this conversation is not for you. But this is for people who want to pursue after things and want to take that next step.
So this is like the action.
Yeah.
Like, this is when you're just, and maybe we are just the voices to be able to go, just do it. Doing it afraid is way better than not doing it at all.
Because usually right behind the fear is an open door to something that is going to blow you away. An unbelievable blessing, right? So like being bound by that fear and not pursuing and not continuing on. Oh man, if we could just encourage you to say, like, if you're facing fear, that actually means that something's literally right on the other side of that, like right on the other corner. So like, bind it in the name of Jesus and get on out of there.
Absolutely.
Like, let's keep going. Let's keep moving.
Yeah. All the way to Jesus.
All the way to Jesus. But I love the coach idea. I love the mentor ideas. I love all of these conversations of development. Like we're all in process. Like we literally different stages, but we are both there with you of trying to develop our new passions. Like we literally are right there with you. So just as an encouragement piece, keep going, keep pursuing, and don't be afraid really just to step on out. So that is our phase 2 episode on development of our passions.
Yay! Good job. Okay, B. So here's what we do.
Yep.
We would not be Little Did I Know podcast if we did not talk about our wins and our losses for the week.
Yes.
So tell me, where are you winning and where are you losing?
Where I'm winning is this week I get to go on a family vacation with my family. We love going to the Outer Banks, North Carolina, which, kind of can't get too much further for me. But
that's true.
I'm just so excited. I'm excited, and it has been years. and the last time was an absolute destruction
Right.
of a crapshoot. So this is like redemption. This is going to be so much fun, and I am definitely winning because I get to go on a family vacation, and this is Antoine's first time, so he has no idea what to expect. I don't know what to expect, but it's going to be fun.
Well, I am excited about the wild horses. Like oh my gosh, I cannot wait if that happens.
Yeah, so we rented this house right on the beach in the Outer Banks. And like you said, it's a very, very northern part of the Outer Banks, which you have to have a 4x4 just to get out there because it's super sandy, you can get stuck. And it's the places where all these wild horses just run and roam. And this is what we hear. So I don't know if it's true or not, or if it's a sales ploy. But I'll let you know and get back to you.
You gave him your money, so you hope that it's more than that. Okay, so where are you losing?
Where I'm losing is it's just this continual job search, this job hunt. I think losing, and I say that loosely, it's quote unquote losing. I don't know, it's losing. It's just we're in the middle and in the midst of trying to figure out, what the type of job situation is going to be for our family and where the income comes. So that's it's a scary place to live, but we trust that, we've never not been provided for. So thankful for that. But I think that's the closest thing to losing right now for me.
It's just hard. Maybe not losing. It's just hard. Yeah.
How about you? Winning and losing.
Okay. Winning is, once again, the parks are moving. But this one is it.
Heard that before.
I know. I know. That I even have friends who want to come help me pack is just, truly God's best. But we have, we ran into some problems with our current house. And again, we were just finding out who we were when we were coming together and all of this kind of stuff. So anyways, we just will close on a new construction house in like 20 days, and we're moving. But it's going to be like Tate just said today when I was driving her to school. She's like, Mom, I'm so excited about the new house. And there's just some things that we're excited about. So good. Yes. We, and then in 5 years, I will not talk about it again until 5 years from now. And then I will be saying, I just found a house in Edmonds, Washington. Yeah. Because that is.
And the bells and whistles will all be ringing at the same time in unison.
That's right. That is right. So where I am losing is I'm going to tell you what. I had a really hard week last week.
Yes, you did.
I went on a business trip with a major head cold, and you can probably still hear it in my voice, and met a coworker who's a total dream. Like, we just hit it off, had a great time, except for we got in a car accident in the middle of Denver, and I'm going to tell you what, I don't know if you've ever been off location in a car accident. It's not fun. It's hard to get home. And so anyways, recovering from that. And I don't even know. It was not a great week. It was not a good week. And you even said when I texted you, you said, I can hear it in your text.
Yes, when you know. The non-emotive text was screaming out emotions.
I don't think I gave an exclamation point or a heart emoji the whole week. Yeah.
Pretty informative.
Yeah. Whiplash is a thing, man. And I am telling you what, but better today, but I'm,
Okay.
Yeah.
You're looking better. You got it. And you're getting lashes. Oh! What the heck? Okay.
I know.
As we close out this episode, as we do most of them, little did I know for the week.
My little did I know is Southwest Airlines can come through and can make you fall in love with them with one phone call. One phone call. Southwest, we have to redo some things because
I was about to say, wasn't that like the airline that you
I did not like. I did not like.
We're such hypocrites.
I am going to tell you, they, I wish I had her name because I would give her a complete shout out right now, but she came in and just served real well. I don't know. Southwest Airlines. Little did I know I was going to crush on you.
I think we might need to just do travel etiquette episode part 2 because I feel like we need to redo the travel etiquette episode because, man, we have gone astray.
Who did we think we were? Is my question. Like, I was a pompous bitch. I am singing a different tune. I am coming in meek and mild and mercy mild. I don't even know. I know.
Well, there's planning in the future. We have direction.
I know, V. You want to know what? I sat in the center seat there and back. I did not care. I was like, it is fine. It's not a big deal. Like, why did I think it was such a thing? I don't know.
Well, to be fair, coming back, you did have one of the worst weeks of your life. So you're like, just get me home and I don't care how I get there.
Yeah.
You probably weren't too concerned about the luxury in which you were flying in.
Right.
Or lack thereof.
You are exactly right about that. But so I have a whole new appreciation for some things. And so I think we might need to do, like, you know what, because we're both going to be traveling a lot, like the end of summer, we should do an end of summer travel and say, these are the things that we learned. These are the things that we lied to you about. We sold you snake oil. And, and here's the things that going forward.
Yep.
You know what'd be really great is on Labor Day weekend. Because I'm going to be in your city.
I'm just saying, it's going to be etched in pencil.
Mm-hmm. Touche. Okay, so what about you, B?
My little bit I know is just this cooking extravaganza, and my mind has just been blown. There is a show I want to give a shout out to. I don't think I have all of the names in line, but Netflix, Salt, Acid, Fat, Heat. One of the most amazing cooking shows she has a book too.
Okay. It's called Salt, Acid, Fat, Heat.
Yep. And it is the 4 elements that should be in every single dish that you make. Okay. And it is well done. It's just a 4-episode series. And she goes to different parts of the world that really that region is like the expert of that. So like she goes to Italy for fat and uses like the olive oil concept with cheese. And then for acid, she goes to a Spanish country. I forget which one it is, but talks a lot about the sour oranges and the different fruits that they cook with, and just like the importance of each of those elements. And it has just blown my mind with the taste, the flavors, and all of these things to cook with. So as a disclaimer, she has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's fantastic. When's the last time you've seen 100%? On Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know ever. I know.
And she has 97% of Google users liked this TV show.
Mm-hmm. What's her name again?
Oh, her name is Salman Nosrat.
She's Iranian. Mm-hmm. And so there's all these different recipes that you can get. And if you just YouTube her too, you can get all of these ideas as far as like how she makes a specific dish and look them up. So I'm like, that's what I want to do. It's really intriguing.
And you want to know what I like about her? She's not a skinny chef.
I know she is who she is.
Those skinny chefs, you can't trust them. Like, you are not eating that. That's not true. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. Well, there you go, from the pseudo life coaches known as Little Did I Know podcasters, giving you the development portion of finding your passions and running after your dreams and your desires. And may we just be the loudest cheerleaders and athletes, not cheerleaders, on the sidelines. But thank you for joining us in this talk today. I am Stephanie Parks. You can find me at Steph K. Parks on Instagram and Stephanie Parks on Facebook.
And I'm Shauna Zola Mihaly. You can find me there on Facebook and Instagram as well. And enjoy yourselves. Go eat a bunch of stuff. And watch the show on Netflix.
That's right, 100% Rotten Tomatoes. No, not at all. All right, we'll see you next week, people. Bye-bye.